Hey y'all, RoamTownGirl here, and today I want to tell you about my pass-through of Kansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. Now, I just drove through, so in my criteria, I did not earn one of those stickers that I put on my RV map. In that case, I have to really spend some time in a state and kind of feel like I've traveled to all four corners. So that's my criteria. But I still want to show them to you, even though at some point we will be going back to those states and doing them more thoroughly. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, welcome. And thank you so much for stopping by. And it's my hope that you have such a fun time with me today that you'll want to come back over and over and over again. And to my longtime viewers, thank you so much. I love and appreciate each and every one of you. You don't even know how much, because you always are here to support the channel and at least help get my watch hours up. We really got to work more on the subscribership. So I'll keep putting out good videos, and I don't know, if you keep liking them and leaving comments, I think that tells the algorithm to send it out to more people. Okay, but let's get on to the good stuff. So in 2019, that is when my mother passed away, who was never very fond of my first RV Scout because he was older, and she felt like every time I turned around, I was pouring more money into him. And so she really wanted me to get a newer, younger RV, not understanding that that has nothing to do with the fact that I'm still gonna have things go wrong almost on the daily. But anyway, so one of the conditions was she left me some money specifically to get a newer, younger RV, and then she tasked my stepfather Joel with not letting me off the hook and making sure that I actually followed through. So in 2020, I got Romeo Fancy Pants here, and he is a retired rental. I think it was the greatest way in the whole world to buy an RV, and I did make a video about that, and I'll put a link up in the corner, so if that's something you want to know more about, you can check that out. Okay, but I mention all that, I say all that to say that Scout, my first RV, was like 20 years old, and so he was very affordable to register, and that wasn't even on my radar. So I get Romeo Fancy Pants here, and we're in the throes of COVID, and I have to go to the Pahrump DMV to register him, and it was a whole thing back then. You had to show up at like 3 in the morning, wait in line, and people would like bring their chairs and their coolers and their hot coffee thermoses, and because when they opened, they only let the first 50 people in line in for that day. So the day I went, it worked well. I was definitely one of the first 50 people in the door. So when I got up to the counter and things kind of took a left turn, I didn't want to cause any trouble, so I just kept my mouth shut. But what happened was, the lady was asking me all these questions that I thought were awfully odd, and she came to me with a number and an amount for my registration, and I just about fell out of the chair, and I thought, she's done something wrong. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But given the circumstances and all the investment of time and energy I had made to get into the DMV, I thought, I'm not opening my big fat mouth. I'll just pay. I'll call Carson City the next day and we'll get this all straightened out. So I call Carson City the next day, and he starts asking me a lot of the same questions. And again, he gives me the same amount she does. And I'm like, hold up. Why are you asking me about the MSRP on my RV? I didn't buy this thing new. In fact, he's a retired rental, and I bought him for less than half of what he originally cost. I could not afford this RV if I was buying him new, and I certainly cannot afford the registration you are asking me, thinking that I'm the kind of person that could have afforded this RV new. Anyway, that's how I got education in the fact that some states, and Nevada is one of them, that bases their registration on the original MSRP of your vehicle, and then, you know, they chip away a little bit at it every year until 10 years, and then it becomes affordable again. Well, I'll just tell you now, my first year, $1,500 for registration, which means even if we chip away a couple $100 every year, I'm still always going to be around $1,000, and I think that is completely unreasonable. And that's what had me look into registering and becoming a resident in South Dakota, right? We've all seen those videos of how easy it is and all that great stuff. So I started doing the research, and everything I could find was like, this is a great idea. And you know, nothing's ever 100%. And I'm like, why is nobody telling me the downside or the cons of this? Anyway, that was the plan. I'm going to South Dakota. I'm never paying Nevada another year's worth of registration. And then I was supposed to go when Sturgis was going on and COVID. And I thought, yeah, no. So I waited another year. So I did pay one more year of the upcharge. I think it dropped to a whole $1,300 by that point. Good Lord. But I did go this year in 2022. So as you know, based on my last video, I was in Texas. I'm going to South Dakota. As far as I can see on YouTube and all the things I've Googled, I guess it's a good idea, and I'm gonna go to America's Mailbox, right? And as long as I'm there, I'm gonna go see, you know, Mount Rushmore and all that fun stuff. Well, now that I'm planning on going to South Dakota, I gotta figure out when I should go. And you know, I really don't like to be in the heat, and I really don't like to be around lots of people. And so I found out that I should come in the shoulder season, which was get in and out before the end of May. Because after the end of May, beginning of June, it's a free-for-all. The temperatures are going up, and everybody and their kids and their dogs and their grandmas and their barbecues and their loud music and their generators, they're all coming out of the woodwork. So next is to figure out where do I want to go and what do I want to see while I'm in South Dakota. So I'm watching YouTube videos and I'm reading articles and I'm asking people, and basically it's a whole lot of everybody's hiking, biking, national parking. I'm like, oh God. And I'm taking notes, but like none of this is really doing anything for me. I mean, I want to see the monuments, but we all know how athletic I am, and so okay, so I reach out to one of my college friends who I know has gone to South Dakota several times, and she's always telling me how much she loves it. And so when I ask her, like, what do you recommend, where should I go, she kind of just tells me the same thing everyone else did, just the basics. And I said, I thought you like had the inside scoop on some really cool, fun, unusual stuff. And she's like, no. She's like, I just like to go to Mount Rushmore and that kind of stuff. And she's like, look, when I was a kid, like the whole big thing was going to Flintstone Land or Flintstone World. I'm like, wait, what? That got my attention. So I Google Flintstone Land and I find, hands down, my most favorite trip planning website, RoamTownGirl.com. It had Flintstone Land listed. That's how I found my way there. So I got to see like what it looks like and what was going on. It doesn't exist anymore. But they have all this weird, wacky, strange, unusual, bizarre places to see like almost everywhere in America. I'm like, oh my God, this is awesome. So I start looking at what's in South Dakota, and where I originally was gonna just head straight to, what's the city? Where does everybody, oh, Rapid City. There was so much going on the east side of South Dakota. I was like, forget this. I'm going to the east and I'm coming all the way across because there's so much fun stuff to see. So I'm really excited to show you all that stuff. So my first recommendation, little out of order though, is that I love RoamTownGirl.com. You just go there, you tell it what city or what area, even what state you're going to, and it just gives you a laundry list, and you can just pick out the weirdest and the strangest and the wildest and the funnest. And I just, oh my God, that speaks to me. Okay, so now I know I'm in Texas and I'm going to be headed towards the east corner of South Dakota, which means I am basically just going straight up, and I'm gonna go through, where am I going through? Oklahoma, and then Kansas, and then Nebraska. And I think I got those in the right order. So there are no thousand trails. Okay, so that's out. Nobody has a state park, you know, gig the way New Mexico does. That's where I am right now. So nobody has an affordable situation like that. So the state parks were low. They're just as pricey as the RV parks. So then I got it in my head, maybe it's time to check out Harvest Host, right? So they allow you to look at stuff before you become a member, and I saw there were plenty of options all the way through those 3 states. So I joined Harvest Host, and there's this whole thing about, I thought Boondockers Welcome was included, but it's really not. It's kind of handled as a separate upcharge. So I just did Harvest Host, and then I did an upcharge of the golf courses because I already saw that there were a lot of golf course options. And that is how I economically made my way through those 3 states, driving, you know, my usual, as I mentioned, you know, 2 to 3 hours a day. And by the way, I didn't clarify, but when I drive a 2-hour day, it's not 2 hours. You know, it's like 6 hours. The drive itself is supposed to be 2 hours, but I stop at Walmart's, I stop at Family Dollars, I stop to get gas, I stop to walk the dogs, and I don't know, the next thing I know, you know, 120 miles, 150 miles has turned into a 6-hour drive. So there's something that no one, I don't think, tells you about RVing, but that seems to be a very common phenomenon that happens to all of us. Okay, but back on point. So I found Harvest Hosts along the way, and between my Harvest Hosts and my Roadside America attractions, I just had a fabulous time before I even got to South Dakota. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I did come across the due diligence information I wanted about South Dakota, and it turned out it is not a good option, at least not for me. And I found out a lot of good stuff that a lot of people I don't think realize, and so I'm going to be making a separate video about how I did not choose to change my residency to South Dakota, and I'm actually choosing to stay in Nevada. And to pay the price I have to pay for the next, you know, however long I have Romeo over here, you know that information's got to be pretty mind-blowing. So now I find myself, gas prices are going up. I am no longer changing my residency to South Dakota. But what was I gonna do? I just planned the greatest trip of a lifetime, so gas prices be damned. I'm still going to South Dakota. And so I did, and I'm gonna take you along with me, and here's the first leg of our journey. Where are the donkeys? Oh, look, you could park right next to the donkeys if you want to. If you park here, your donkeys would be your view. Where are they? Donkeys! Water hookup. I don't see any donkeys. See, all the pads are nice packed gravel. Oh, I see a ball. Donkeys. There's one. Hi, donkeys. Let's go over there. Oh, there's one donkey. Hi, donkey. Are you napping? Oh, you coming to say hello? Hi. I've met a lot of your wild cousins in Arizona. Hi. I should have brought you an apple or something. I suck. Oh, here comes your friend. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Ooh, you smell. Hi, guys. What'd you think of that storm last night? Oh my God. God, that storm was crazy. Hi, sweet baby. I didn't bring you anything to eat. I suck. You're so cute. I got a friend. Hey, I'm allergic to you. I know you don't understand allergies. They've got 4 separate places to park. And I know for a fact that 2 of them are definitely big enough for a big 5th wheel. I used this barn to block the winds last night. We had another tornado watch that thankfully did not turn into a tornado warning. It was perfect. I felt very little of the wind. This is a farm. We've got a couple greenhouses. I see that one, and then I see that one all the way over there. Oh, and beware. I learned. We got some poison ivy growing back here. So these shoes are casualties of poison ivy. I don't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Because I'm worried they're gonna get the oil all over me. Look how cute it is in here. Uh-oh, looks like lots of things to spend money on. That's hysterical. Kind of close to the highway. Did not have the most restful sleep. This wonderful big field for the puppies to play. Go, Wesley, go! Bye, Wesley! And we have this lovely little patio gazebo area too. Hang out. Lovely waterfall. Ooh, with fishies. You see the fishies? It's very pretty. And there's the vineyard. You can see we're right next to the highway. And the Kansas Star Casino. You go this way, and that's where Romeo is. What you doing? Come here, handsome. Wesley, Wesley, come. Oh my God, I'm in Kansas and I'm traveling and seeing attractions, and there's a major severe thunderstorm going on. But there was no point in staying still because it's just going to be doing this for the next few days anyway, so just taking my chances. Hoping I don't intersect with a tornado anywhere. So here we are at the Steampunk Museum. I don't know. It's one of those cool, odd, strange, unique places I found along my route. So I thought I'd stop and show it to you. All right, let's go look around. Texas, but they weren't that big. Thank God. Nope, we're not in England. We're actually in Kansas. But we kind of have English weather and kind of an English attraction. At least I think that's where Stonehenge is. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to look that up. Look, I found a junior mini Stonehenge. I have no idea what any of this means. I probably should have looked it up before I got here. Which one do you like best? I think I'm partial to the one with the Mayan calendar. If this one, I don't like that Sagittarius looks like he's gonna shoot the dog. And this one has that crawfish. That reminds me of that crawfish boil I had. I don't know. Okay, so let me tell you what this says. The solar calendar honors many traditions from around the world. This is a place of reflection. It tracks the sun's location by aligning the stones at sunset, sunrise, and at local noon on the first day of each of the 4 seasons. The small ground stones and their medallions mark the sun's shadow falling from the southernmost standing stone and the beam of light upon the center of the medallions. All right, this is getting too convoluted. If you sit on the benches and follow the line of the flagstone to the west in the evening, you may watch the sunset directly over the standing stones. Okay, I like what I told you in the beginning. Oh my God, the thunder and lightning is so close. I gotta go take cover in Romeo. Oh my God. Did you see that? That's some serious thunder. Oh my God. Okay. Wow, just beat the downpour. I tell you, the weather gods love me. They gave us just enough of an opening so I could go photograph the mini Stonehenge. And then as soon as I got back to the RV, downpour. I'm gonna give this a few minutes before I head out for my next location. I would normally never drive in conditions like this, but the truth is, this is going on for the next couple of days. So I figured, what difference does it make? Because I'm gonna get caught in the rain and the thunder at some point anyway. So far so good. Well, what do you think? Those are some pretty great Harvest Hosts and Roadside America attractions, don't you think? And there's more to come. Just wait till we get to the east side of South Dakota. That'll be coming up soon. So you can let me know that you enjoyed this video by giving me a thumbs up, even better, or in addition to. I love when you leave comments. It's my way of being able to communicate back and forth with you. So please leave the comments below. And if you know someone else that you think it would brighten their day to see my videos, tell them about me. Share my video. Let's get my subscribership up. Okay, perfect timing. The wind's kicking up, and that is really bad conditions for making videos. So I'm going inside. I'm gonna have some lunch. See you next time.